as the words or picture are in those three bubbles. Great job, scientists. Using the
Just
books.
awarded you a point. You're all working very hard.
So, after people pollution, the next one was the A, which stands for air pollution. So, our magnifying glass means we are doing a definition. So if you look on the next part of your flipbook, under the air pollution tab, chemicals and substances are inserted into water, making it harmful. It's called what? Nope. There. Harmful gases and tiny particles released into the air is called what? I like the way you raised your hand, Michaela. It was what? What did Michaela just say, Daniel? Daniel, what did Michaela just say? Okay, can you repeat it for Daniel, please? Air pollution. Awesome. So we are writing in this blank air pollution. Now, you see down here there's a lot of room for a lot of different causes and a lot of different effects. I don't want you to stress out. Just write at least one cause and one effect as I continue going over things. There's a couple of pictures on the slide. I see some factory where there looks like there's things coming out of some pipes at the top, some chimneys. Cars with a lot of things coming out of the exhaust. I've got this, it might be some kind of a fire, I don't know what that is, but we'll talk about that on the next slide. Causes of air pollution. So for causes of air pollution, I have all of these different things. Over here I have natural. Natural is talking about lightning, volcanoes, wildfires, forests. Does it sound like natural is something that is caused by humans? Matt?
No.
Who thinks Matt's right? I'm not saying everybody. Isaiah, what do you think? Yes, no? All right. So, sometimes natural is just like lightning strikes. It causes wildfire, or a volcano happens. When those things happen, people don't cause volcanoes. Volcanoes are just part of the earth, and that's what causes the wildfire, or some of the other things which all are a cause of air pollution. So that's one. Area. I've got a picture of a city, and I've got a picture of some more of a rural farming area where they're talking about fertilizer and livestock. In the city, we have a lot of places here where there's a lot of cement. Think of New York City. There's not a huge area of green, forest and things like that. So that also will contribute because these people need to heat their homes. There's going to be a lot of traffic, things of that nature. Down here we have livestock and fertilizer, where cows, pigs, all those animals, if they have a lot of manure, all of that manure, we know that it kind of stinks pretty bad. And part of the reason of that is it's causing an air pollution. Wait, what?
How does manure cause air pollution? Because manure is pretty much like natural fertilizer.
I like the way you're thinking right now, and I will talk to you a little bit more about this, but right now I need to finish this, and I'll take some questions at the end. Stationary. Stationary and mobile. So for stationary and mobile, what do you think the difference is going to be there? Okay,
Mobile is stationary. It's not really.
Okay. Yep, you'd read all of the stationary form, which was really good. Industry, power plant, sewage, and treatment. They're not similar how? They move around, absolutely. So they move around. So the mobile, these are things that are moving. Stationary is planted firm. If this factory is not going to pick up and walk across the street or to another state, that factory is going to stay where it is. So those are another thing. All of these are different causes. So we have a lot of things. We only need to pick one of these things to write down for the cause. So hopefully everybody has at least one thing that they could write down now. Next slide. Effects. Effects of air pollution. The first one here, when I look at this word, I see another word inside of this word that I've seen before. Does anybody see another word inside that word? Who sees one? There.
Acid and carbon.
Acid, absolutely. Acid, acidification. This is where those stationary factories that we were talking about, they have emissions that come up out of their chimneys. The first picture that I showed you with all of that smoke pouring out of the chimneys, that goes up into the air. When that mixes with the water vapor in the clouds, it rains down and causes like an acid rain. So acidification is one of the effects. Second effect, eutrophication. What this is going to be is another process. There's a nutrient load up, excessive nutrients from fertilizers are flushed from land into rivers or lakes. So this was talking before, we talked about the manure. When you have a lot of those manures and things and it rains and it's on a hill, all that washes down into water. So it gets into here. The plants flourish with these pollutants. What happens to the plants? They have the algae, they have the oxygen depleting. The plants die, and the oxygen, the water becomes depleted eventually. The decomposition, which is again all part of our life cycle that now another group talked about, depletes the oxygen. The dead plants are broken down by bacteria, and finally death of the ecosystem. So this is a toxic thing for this environment, all caused by depletion of the ozone layer and health problems are two more things. All of these are different effects. You need at least one on your sheet. I'm looking around, but I should see at least one thing written down here. Depletion of the ozone layer is that hole in the ozone that we've been talking about since the 1980s, back when I was younger. And then health problems would be other things, such as if you are having a hole in the ozone layer, you don't have that protection of the sun's rays, it can cause things like skin cancer, it can cause all kinds of other issues as well. If you're breathing in air that's been contaminated, it's been polluted, it can cause breathing problems, like when we had 9/11 happen down in New York City. So we're going to review and revisit. There's a picture here. Everybody take a look at the picture. What type of pollution is represented in the picture? Who can tell me? Somebody else. Michaela's doing a great job, but she's not alone. Who else? William. Air pollution. Very good. What is the man doing with the mask on his face?
What he's doing is he's breathing through the tube because there's a tree in his back. Because trees they do something and it makes it smell like they produce air, and he's breathing in the air from the tree because everywhere around him is like death.
How do you know that?
Because I see like there's a tree and like a jar on his back, and there's like black clouds all around him, and there's like dirt, just not grass.
Who agrees with him? Who has a different idea on why that might be? Anybody have a different idea? No? Gracie, what do you think?
Yeah, read the curtain of the surroundings.
Right. I agree, because of the surroundings. Good job.
All right, so I see a magnifying glass. So what does that mean again? To find important information.